Hey guys, welcome back to Hooks Nation. Today I'm going to show you how to switch the brake pads on a Polaris wedge snow machine. I'm pretty sure that these same procedures will be needed on the Evolved, the Aggressive, and the Gen 2 chassis. You're going to need a 3/16 Allen key, a 9/16 wrench, possibly a flathead screwdriver, and for most liquid models you're going to need a 1/4 inch Allen key. Let's go. First, you can remove the Allen key bolts. They're size 3/16. They're holding on your brake caliper, so you can take these off. They shouldn't be very tight. I already have mine loose, but I'm just taking them off. And then when you've got these off, you can take it off of here and then screw it back in, so then you don't lose the bolts. And then we're on to the next step. Now you can take your brake assembly off the top of your chain case. There's two bolts holding it on to the top of the chain case. They're 9/16. Mine are already pretty loose because I've done this earlier, but just unscrew them out of there, both sides. Make sure that you don't lose the washers. There should be two of them. Once you've got these out, both of them, your brake caliper can now come off, but just wait. On the back there will be two connections for your brake lights, so take both of those off. And then now you're ready to remove this whole assembly down here right off. Here I am showing you both the styles of brake assemblies for the top of your chain case off of a Polaris snow machine. Here's the one off of most liquid models. It has a rad hose thing right on top for antifreeze to go through. There will be two hoses hooking up here, and it will be being pumped through, so that will be cooling off your brake assembly down here. And here's a one off of most fan snow machines. All it has is some cooling fins on top, that's all. None of this other antifreeze style stuff, because fan snow machines do not have antifreeze. So here it is. For the liquids, if you want to take this piece off, it's a 1/4 inch Allen key, but when this comes off it exposes this, it's hollow in here, so all the antifreeze will drain out. So you can do that and plug it up with something, or drain all the antifreeze out of your sled if you really want to go that far. Or you can take off both these hoses onto here and clamp them, but I'd recommend not even taking it all the way off like that. So you don't have to actually remove these out of the snow machine. So you can lift them, undo these two bolts in your connections for your back tail lights, lift it up off the chain case like this. That's about as far as you are going to need to lift it. The hoses will still be attached, so you'll be kind of restricted. So now that it's lifted up, this piece pulls up. As you can see here, I'm pulling it off. They're usually on there pretty good because they're old, so you're going to use some muscle. And it slides off like this. Make sure to not drop the clips. There's going to be a clip here and a clip here. They're like metal pieces, and they have to sit on these triangles shaped edges. So once it slides off, these clips will now be free to fall off, so collect them. This piece you can now remove, and this will still be sitting there on the liquid snow machine, hanging by those hoses. Most of your brake pads will come off like this, and as you can see, these ones are really worn down. This one almost has no more of the material on it, so I'm going to have to switch them out. So it's going to be hanging there like this in your snow machine. So now you can replace these sliding metal pieces if they're worn out, or any other parts that you might need to service, especially your brake pads, which you've done this for. So you can take those out, like I did here, and replace them, put them together, and put them back on there, and reassemble everything the opposite way that I took it apart, and then you're going to be ready to install it back onto your snow machine. Here's a close-up view of how to take it apart once you've got it off the snow machine. Pull this piece right out. Collect your metal clips. Might have to replace them. Now you've got this off. Now your brake pads will fall out. These ones are still pretty good, so I'm going to reuse them. So if you're wondering why can't I get this piece back on to this piece when I'm trying to install it, it might be your metal clips aren't put on there properly. The way the metal clips go on, you'll see there's like these parts that come up at a 90-degree angle on one side of the clip. The other side does not have that. Those sides that come up on the 90-degree angle, they will have to be facing this side of this piece right here. So you put those on that side, like that right there. So now that they're over here, it's now easy for this thing to slide on, because if they're on the other way, they will act as a blocker and not allow you to slide it on there freely, so run into some difficulties. So that's the way you put it on. So when I see you next, I'll have my new brake pads in, and I'll be reinstalling it back onto my snow machine. Some problems that you might run into when trying to reinstall this caliper part right here back onto the chain case and the brake disc is that your brake pads are too close together now, and you cannot get them over top of the brake disc so then it can slide down into its proper spot. You can resolve this problem by taking a flathead screwdriver. This one here has a curve on it, so it's good for prying. So you put it between your two brake pads and you like twist it so then it spreads them apart. Make sure that you do not damage them, because they are made of a softer material. I'm pretty sure it's organic or steel, whatever ones that you buy, and then you can damage them. So pry them apart, make sure you don't damage them, and now that they're apart, you should be able to slide it down right onto there nicely where it belongs, like I do here, and you're ready to reinstall all your other stuff. Some of you might be wondering what kind of brake caliper down here this is, because it doesn't look like one of the types that I've showed you before when I was on the table. Well, this is actually the liquid caliper part right here, without that thing on top of it for the antifreeze to go through, because I don't need it for this fan snow machine. And you might be saying, why would you put a liquid one on there? It's no difference when you take off this top part. Well, there actually is. For most liquid snow machines, like I got this off of a Storm 800. As you can see, I wrote the word 800 right here. Since it's off an 800 and stuff, I guess, that they actually come with a longer cable for your brake, so the brake line's a lot longer. And since I have such high handlebars on my snow machine, I had to switch it out, the entire caliper part right here, because the line is attached to it. So I switched the entire part out. So then now I have a much longer line, so then it can run all the way up to my handlebars, because the stock one's too short. So hopefully that answers that question right there. Now that you got your mind set on brakes and stuff, if you ever have to remove your brake lever here, It's size 7/16. There's a nut and a bolt, so size 7/16 wrench or whatever you're going to use. And then if you want to remove the park brake, it's a Torx, and I am using a screwdriver, and it's a T20 by 4. Oh yeah! Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Hooks!